Alright, and welcome back to AZW Action. We have some middleweight division action for you today. This is Stanley taking on Alice Sue Whitelady. And this is just a general match for rankings, folks. Nothing fancy going on here to report. No story, background, or anything like that. Just a good old-fashioned one-on-one match to see who can go up the ranking ladder a little bit. But since you haven't really seen these guys before, I can talk about them a little bit. Stanley really likes his trips to the east, shall we say. And Alice Sue Whitelady is more than a little bit of a weirdo. Really into the whole goth thing. But more like the Satanism and, you know, that branch of goth, the really creepy goth. Or at least that's what they think they are. That's what they're going for. Okay, why not? They're creepy. Sure, why not? But that's kind of his thing. The fire and the mask and the really dark guy liner there, making his eyes look all messed up. And then you have Stanley, he's just Stanley. Stylistically quite different. Alice Sue, martial arts background, likes throwing kicks, bit of submission work. Stanley, bit more of a high flyer, lucha libre background. And should make for a pretty interesting matchup, I think. Haven't really seen these two before. Middleweight division, one of the larger divisions. Oh, I'm not sure what Stanley was thinking there, but he just got slammed down onto the mat. So whatever he was thinking, it did not go to plan. Kind of foolish, getting up on the turnbuckle with Alice right there. And Alice Sue just kind of maneuvering around, almost seems to be playing with Stanley. Might be getting a bit cocky in this matchup here. He does have a size advantage. Probably has the definite striking advantage. I'd have to say not probably. He certainly has a striking advantage. Don't think he has a speed advantage, though. Stanley will be able to outspeed him. Outmaneuver him if he can get up some momentum. Problem, of course, is that... Oh, and nails the dropkick. That's exactly what I was talking about. He needs to use those hit and move, stick and move, hit the high-flying move or something like that, and then stay on top of him, though he can't just ditz around like he is. Coming into this matchup, Alice Sue has a lot more advantages in a lot of ways than Stanley does. He's going to have to use his speed and high-flying skills. Just kind of test of strength there. Not test of strength, but just trying to get one over on the other, I guess. Collar and elbow tie up, just trying to make something happen and struggling with each other. There's an arm wringer, but gets arm dragged over. The drop kick does not connect. Solid. Caught, and that big ducking haymaker. Made good use of that so far in the match. Stanley has taken quite a few hits. And Alisu manages to stay more or less in control, knocks Stanley onto the apron. And Stanley apparently feels that this is a good time to try and get the crowd riled up. Get him on his side, maybe. Into the ropes. Off. Hits him with a rolling shoulder tackle. Tries to take him over, but gets caught and side slam. Stanley's pretty tough. He's not going to go down easily. He's going to be able to take some punishment here, but like I said earlier, he's not going to be able to keep going toe-to-toe with Alice like this. He's trying to play Alice's match there. Now there's what he needs to do. He needs to get in them drop kicks, those high-flying moves, the fast moves, the fast pace. And here he goes, wasting time taunting the crowd or just messing around again. Alice going down with a leg lock into the ropes real quick, but now he's starting to bring in some of that submission game. Stanley gets the arm that time, takes him down with the elbow hit, but Alice right back up. And once again with that big haymaker. Stanley not getting up quick this time. That time he gets that leg lock in a bit longer before Stanley can get out of it. Gets caught again with that side slam. Jumping punch connects. Looks like it hit him in the ribs. Alice likes to use a move. Roll up. 1, 2. Do count. Uses a submission hold he calls the creeper lock, which is a kind of a double arm bar neck wrench. It's kind of difficult to describe. He gets a hold of both arms and uses his body to create the leverage on both limbs, plus the torso, the neck particularly. But most of the damage is done to the arms. And big charging side kick there, and just another kick right to the head, and goes back into that leg lock briefly. I'm sorry about that, folks. And of course, I'm out of water. That figures. Match is already underway. I can't stop now. Stanley rolls out of the way of that drop kick. Doesn't get the impact of it. But going back to his taunting, Alisu does not like to mess around. It's kind of his thing. You know, he's very similar. He's trained with Benny Hanna quite a bit. They do not see eye to eye at all. And that charging side kick again, and going for that another kick to the head. Stanley getting up. But Benny Hanna, a little bit odd. He kind of looks more flamboyant when he comes out to the ring. He's from Hawaii. So he kind of has brought some of that Hawaiian culture with him, but at the same time, incredibly serious in-ring competitor. Really just lives to get in the ring and beat people up. And although they do not see eye to eye on much anything else, he and Alisu really do kind of connect over that particular aspect of who they are as wrestlers. They like to come out, they like to beat people up, they don't mess around much. Drop toe hold, takes him down, and just slamming the knee into the mat and going back to that leg lock, right into the ropes though. It's kind of interesting. Alisu uses, as I said, that arm bar. Well, it's a double arm lock, double arm bar, sort of a submission hold, but he's been focusing on the legs. Of course, once he gets that creeper lock properly locked in, he can get you to tap out without ever having to work on your arms at all. It is an incredibly, excruciatingly painful hold. The only thing that does go work against him is that in order to hit it properly, he tends to grab from the top, from a standing position, and then roll them over into a sitting position. 1, 2 count. Stanley kicked out. And there it is. And right there you saw exactly what I was just talking about. He has to roll him down into that seated position in order to lock the hold in, which means that he's always going to be taking him one direction. And considering that the ring is surrounded by ropes, unless he's very careful about his positioning, chances are he's going to be rolling them closer to the ropes instead of further away. Oh, gets hit with the low drop. Stanley has not been faring well in this match at all. Alice Sue has been dominating. I don't know if I'd really call this a squash match completely, but it's been pretty close. And I can't say that it's anyone's fault except for Stanley. He is not there right there. He had a perfect opportunity there to try for something, a high-flying move, something to nail Alice Sue and start wearing him down more. Oh, there he got something going there, but can he capitalize? He keeps messing around. He doesn't stay on top of him. He doesn't follow up. Alice Sue is not the kind of competitor that you can just screw around with. He's not going to give you that opportunity, the time, the space to breathe. He's going to stay on top of you and beat your ass down until you either tap out or stay down in a 1, 2, 3. Speaking of which, only 2 count. Stanley gets a hold of him, takes him down with a shoulder breaker, then takes a big old boot to the head. Another pin attempt, 1, 2, only 2 count. Stanley kicks out again. Drop kick does not connect solidly. Alice Sue trying to drive him back a little bit with strikes, but gets caught. European uppercut, sweep does not connect. Manages to connect with the punches or slaps, or chops, I guess. Stanley gets behind, but takes an elbow. Alice Sue picking him up. Shoots it off the ropes. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Catches him with a side Russian leg sweep there. Jumping punch, connects. Looked like it may have been in the hip area where he connected. Couldn't quite tell. Eye rake. Takes Alice down, but doesn't keep him down for any length of time. He just has not taken enough punishment. And Stanley has not been keeping on top of him. There is a belly-to-belly suplex. Just takes him right over, slams him down. Stanley trying to fire back. Gets caught again, and that looked like it could have been close to a knockout blow there. Goes for the leg lock again. And it looks like Stanley is holding his leg. Not surprising. He's taken quite a bit of punishment tonight. And just get caught with a power slam there. Alice dragging him out into the middle of the ring. Gonna, yes, go for a pin. 1, 2, only 2 count. As I said, Stanley is a tough guy. It's just he doesn't have enough focus. Especially not for somebody like Alice Sue, who is just kicking the shit out of him at this point. Just driving him clear out on the apron there. Gets a hold of him. Brings him in the hard way with a big suplex. And again, rolls him down towards the ropes. That is the one major flaw with that hold. If he can get it locked in more towards the center of the ring, you're in trouble. But quite often he doesn't have the positioning, the time to get them into a better position, and ends up rolling them towards the ropes. Stanley trying desperately to fire back, throwing him out of the ring. He might be looking to capitalize on some out of the ring action there. Hits his head into the apron. Big belly to backside suplex connects. He's had to have taken some of the wind out of Alice Whitelady's sails. Oh, and jumping punch connected, kind of high on the torso there. Connects with the overhead punch. Trying to lay in some strikes. Tries for a grapple, does not get it. Laying in some strikes there, but Alice Sue connects with that big haymaker once again. Stanley trips him. Sweep doesn't connect, but gets driven back by a hit and that clothesline takedown. Oh, and just laying some punches in there. Alice Sue. It's a drop kick attempt, does not connect solidly. Stanley looking to once again throw him out of the ring perhaps, but gets hit by that haymaker again. Retaliates with the the low drop kick. Doesn't take Alice off his feet though. Oh, and there is that big haymaker punch again, just wiping Stanley out. And there's a roll up. 1, 2, 3. And that proved to just be too much. Stanley could not find anything that worked against Alice. He needs to take things like this more seriously. As I said, Alice is not the kind of competitor you can just mess around with. He's going to stay on top of you and take you down as quickly as he can and efficiently as he can. Stanley's stamina, his toughness really paid off there, kept him in the match a long time, but he just could not make anything happen offensively. He was on the defensive pretty much from the get-go, could not recover. So that puts Alice Whitelady up in the rankings for the middleweight division. Coming up next, we have the debut of Michael Elgin in AZW eFed action, taking on Chris Candido, who through the miracle of video games and eFed world magic is returning from the great beyond to compete here at AZW. So, thanks for watching very much. Don't forget to give that like button a good old roll-up pin and take it out for me. Leave your comments, suggestions, if there's any indie or, Mexican, European, wrestlers from anywhere but that company. Leave your suggestions and I'll consider them. And of course, just let me know what you think of the videos. That's always appreciated if you've enjoyed them. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you know when new videos go up. And share the video with all your buddies so they can get a kick out of watching AZW just the way you have. So thanks one last time. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.